All right, we're back. Please like, share, and subscribe. We want you as a viewer. April wants you as a viewer. We want you as a viewer.
Yes. Like, share, and subscribe.
And then you might get a booby pic or an image one day, maybe. So April was, where were you when you said Sam's Club? So April's going to narrate a little bit, and then we're going to talk. Go ahead.
Okay, so I was at Sam's Club.
What were you doing at Sam's Club? Why were you there?
I was getting...
Who were you with?
Myself, and I was getting you dish soap.
For what?
I don't know what you used it for.
I used dish soap to find leaks in tires and lubricate.
Oh. Okay. And it was crowded, of course, because it's for a couple weeks before Christmas. And I get up to the register, and there was only one register open, and all the self-checkouts had lines and lines. So when I finally got up to the register, I said, what's going on? Because I frequent Sam's Club. I'm there a lot. And the guy said, nobody wants to work. It's the easiest job to have, and nobody wants to work.
So the employee that was actually working, he was the only register?
Only register.
Only register that they can't get anyone to work at Sam's Club, or no one wants to work. You would think people would be more motivated to work during the holidays or before the holidays, and then not cry that they can't pay their cell phone bill or whatever the case may be, or go to the dispensary and buy a gift for somebody, or do something for themselves. But Sam's Club, South Jersey, Cinnaminson, no cashiers.
Nope. He specifically said the easiest job, and nobody wants to do it.
The easiest job, in his opinion. So my son works at Lowe's in Mount Laurel, Lumberton. And he had a 6 a.m. shift today, and it's just about 9 o'clock. And I said, well, I've been messaging him all morning about stock market stuff and trends. He didn't answer me. He's probably like, it's too much, Dad. You're talking too much business. And then April messaged him, and he answers right away.
Because I asked him how his morning was going.
No, you were going to say, how are you?
Yeah, because I said you made it, but...
And I said, don't ask how are you, just ask him how his day is. Because I feel when you ask how are you, it's prying or digging for information. So
no, it's not.
That's how I feel.
No, not at all.
How are you? Fucking fine. That's how I am. With a smile. When you're really not.
I know how you are.
Oh, look, there's an airplane. You didn't even say it. Look, the plane, boss, the plane.
I usually...
Let's see. Can you see it? Where is he? Where is he? There. Oh, wait. Oh, there you go. Alright. It's a spaceship. Sorry. Yeah. So we had this epidemic, pandemic, easy ride, free money, money grab, and all levels of the government and people. I didn't really get a whole lot of money from that, but it changed the behavior of people. Where is it? I can't see because why isn't it showing? Sorry, guys.
This right way. It's over there.
Can you see it now?
No. Oh yeah.
No. Sorry. Every time we go by the airport, it seems like every 15 minutes a plane is launching.
On the way back, and that's when I'm like watching the planes.
Yeah, so they're going that way.
They're going to Florida.
What is it with people still not wanting to work? I mean, especially in South Jersey.
Anyway, so I asked him how he was, and he said that he was okay. He said that they were understaffed. That was the point you were at.
Yeah, sorry to get off the subject there. So my son, who's at work at Lowe's in Lumberton, they're understaffed. More people not wanting to work. Now, in New Jersey, minimum wage is, I think, $15 an hour. And more people that I talk to who are working in the workforce or work field, nobody's getting $15 an hour on average. On average, the people I speak to that tell me, hey, I think I got a job at Lowe's, I got a job at Home Depot, or something like that. Maybe the movie theater or something like that, or Rita's Water Ice is paying $15 an hour.
It's a cool picture.
Yeah. But it's this holiday season. Did everybody magically get rich? And nobody wants to work? Employers are still struggling to get people to show up to work. Oh, so here's another one. How about show up on time for your job? All the time, without any excuses. So Rachel was at a doctor's appointment before her doctor's appointment. How about that? Early. Shocked. She was there probably a half hour early. And she called me and says, I'm going to be late. And of course, I've lost my mind because you have a job to do. And it's not my job or anyone else's job to do your job. No different than any place else. If you're the CFO or vice president or VP or whatever, it's not your job to do somebody else's job if you don't show up on time and people require your attention. Customers, staff, whatever. How about that? Show up on time all the time. So to get to the conversation, her doctor heard me lose my mind with her on the phone because I have every right to. You have a job to do. I mean, how about if the guy who was supposed to operate on your brain didn't show up on time? Right? Didn't show up on time. You're laying there oh yeah, the doctor said he's going to be a few minutes late. And then he doesn't show up. Or he shows up way past that time. I mean, that's not right. It goes on every day. So her doctor was like, he's freaking out about a few minutes. He was, I have a hard time getting my staff to show up on time all the time. Well, then you need to set the standard, doc, that you're the boss and you're replaceable in the medical field business. I will guarantee that. There's a line of people who want to work. Line of people who want to be in a doctor's office or a nursing business. Plenty of people out there that want to do that job. Probably some people who don't. But if you don't want to do your job, and by being late all the time, then I would like to have somebody who wants to do their job, right? And who wants to work. And one thing that the federal government leaves out, and state and local laws leaves out, is what about the employer? What about the employer? Oh, you just hire new people. Well, then they try and sue you because you get rid of a person for being sick all the time or late all the time or personal issues all the time, and then you use up all their privilege time, and then what? And you're not being backed up by state, federal, and local laws at all. They leave that up to you to deal with the nonsense until you can't deal with it anymore, and then wind up getting a lawsuit for some reason or another, or getting paid unemployment for reasons that they don't deserve. And they really should tighten that up. Say, what? You were late to work 10 times in 1 year? Yeah, company policy and state law says you cannot. Don't call us, don't bother us, we're not even going to hear your story. Where you've called out sick 80 days out of a year when you only have 5 sick days. And then we're not pointing out anyone in specific, we're just using this as an example. And I'm sure it goes on all over the world. And then people roll in constantly late, a few minutes late. I come from the generation that my start time was 8 o'clock. I'm there an hour or a half hour early at my own expense. Would not get paid for that. None. Employer said, well, I expect you here 10 minutes early, which was the industry standard for a mechanic, 10 minutes early. Not walk through the door, make your coffee, put your work boots on, pick your nose, text your girlfriend, hit your social media, and then by 8:15 you're ready to get to work. And then the same employee walked past, trash on the floor, trash cans overflowing, their tools are a mess. That's where I come from. 10 minutes early, I'm ready to go. I want to work. And I pay my employees, just the example. If you show up 10 minutes early, put that on your timesheet. I'll pay you for it. You're not going to come in 10 minutes early and stand around and do nothing. You're going to actually get started, do something. Plenty to do, probably in any business out here every day that you walk in. dust bunnies in the corner, clean up the coffee station, clean up your workstation. There's plenty to do. Sweep the floor, wipe the counter, wipe off telephone poles, wipe off telephones. Plenty to do. That's not my job. Go above and beyond. I told my son, when you go to work, even though you're a cashier or whatever it is, dress professionally and do more than what your expectations are. So if you have nothing to do, find something else to do. Dress the part. Don't come in street clothes and a mess. Look professional. Look to climb that ladder. Look to become assistant manager, general manager, manager of Lowe's, something like that. Don't just be the lonely peg in the board there doing nothing other than just what you get paid for. How you get noticed is what you do and how you perform. Be on time. If you're asked to stay after, you stay, without resistance, right? Well, I have to go someplace, or I have to do this, I have to do that. I understand if you have a doctor's appointment or something, but you have nothing. I have to go to the gym. Well, you can actually stay and make some more money and be a company guy. Or I have a date, or whatever the excuse may be. I always put work pretty much priority until I had children, and then it kind of changed a little bit. Now your children are older, how much more of a priority can they be to you when they're 18 and never home, or 19? They're not coming home for dinner. They're not coming home to see how you're doing.
It doesn't matter how old your kids are. You're still their parent.
I get it, but if you're going home to be with your children or your kids. You're not going home to be with 18 or 19-year-old children. They're adults now, unless they have special needs. Then it's a whole different scenario. Follow me? But some people have no problem staying late. They have a problem coming in early. So there's a whole spectrum of, things there. Like you can't show up 15 minutes early, but you have no problem staying 15 minutes later.
I'm not sure how I feel about this whole conversation, so I'm just minding my business.
Well, it's about people who don't want to work. That's what it's about. And this conversation is about. Legitimately, you go into a store and they have one cashier, 6 registers to take customers who want to deal with a cashier, and no staff to operate them. It's not because they're not giving them hours; they just can't fill they can't fill the position. Right? If they had 20 employees, one said they would work. Right? That's how we're going to look at this. 20 cashiers. When you're Lowe's or Home Depot, you would think they would have 20 deep. Just like, restaurants and waitresses. They don't have usually 1 or 2. They usually have 10 or 15. They say, hey, can you pick up a shift? Can you pick up a shift? And we hear it all the time. Those girls don't want to pick up shifts. They specifically don't want to pick up shifts that are the low income shifts for waitresses. It probably goes the same for bartenders and strippers. They only want to be there when it's busy. And so does everybody.
I don't believe that either, because Cheyenne has been picking up.
We're not saying specific names here. Waitresses, strippers, bartenders, people who work in the restaurant industry would rather be there on the night they're going to make $200 to $500 versus a night or day that they're going to make $50 or $75. Like, to me, it's like, all right, well, if you can make $20 an hour, right, or $15 an hour, I think it's still worth going to where you got to go unless you're driving 3-4 hours. Follow me?
Yeah.
You have nothing else to do. I always said there's nothing like making money when you have nothing else to do. Kind of like your investment portfolio. You're not really doing anything, but you are. Or your TikTok and YouTube accounts or social media accounts. They're working while you're sleeping, right? So nothing like making money when you're not conscious.
Yeah.
So, but if you are conscious, can you diversify your income by making more money, right? I want to sit around and watch TV all day and I don't have any kids and I don't have anything to do. Try and hustle some bucks up. That's all. And we know staffing issues are a problem. We even see it in Meineke. I'm thankful right now that I have a good staff. But I know other Meineke owners, who have had their same crew for a while, but they're getting old and getting near. They don't want to work as much anymore because they're older, right? This is how they built their lifestyle and their business, and they're having problems replacing guys like me who are 30 plus years in a business, masterful like mechanic, skillful technician, shows up to work, does the job, has little comebacks. They're having problems filling those needs. Now I know other shop owners who never had seasoned people in there and tried a new workforce, and it was a revolving door of people and just could not keep the newer workforce in the base. And I've had a couple people come and go. They weren't worth what we were paying them, or they moved on to greener pastures to better themselves or worsen themselves. It's the truth. That I know what the other owners are going through, where they don't have a seasoned staff, they don't have an experienced staff. They have what the industry has to offer, and a revolving door, and you can't run your business on green people. Like hospitals have green staff, right? They have people who don't know what they're doing or just out of school, and they're not the best. How many times have you been in a place and the one nurse can't find the vein, and then the seasoned nurse comes over and then hits your spot in 2 seconds? That's exactly what it is. So the hospital has those people who don't have an experience, and somebody else has to come along and do their job for them. And they have those people, and they have people who are just there interning, trying to groom their workforce as the seasoned doctors and things like that retire and move on to smaller practices. So I was talking to my man Mo. Mo, I hope you're watching. I hope everything's okay. Mo works for an insurance company, not a real mortgage company, so he can relate to some of what I'm saying. That we were talking about my GI doctor, and then after I talked to him, he's like, "How old's your GI doctor?" I said, "Gotta be in her 30s."
I don't know. They age well.
She's cute. She looks well taken care of and stressed, but she didn't look like me, which is 50 and gray hair. So she was Asian or Malaysian or Himalayan, or pretty woman. But I could tell she wasn't in her 40s or 50s. You can tell. In some races you can't tell. But he said, I think you need to get an older GI. And I have to agree with, maybe, the younger generation is more, not experienced. Same thing with me. I'll walk by a car, I hear something, and I can say, okay, this is the problem. And then a non-experienced technician will walk by the car and tell you what he thinks it is, and be completely out in left field and has that sound or noise is nothing related to the problem. And then me walking by, I can say, yeah, that's a problem. Check that. That's what it is. So I feel the same there. That maybe it is time for me to get a better GI. And he also said cardiologist.
You're not getting a new cardiologist.
So April wants to be loyal to the cardiologist, and I think
he saved your brother's life.
I understand that he saved my brother's life. I get it. Well, unclogging his drains is pretty, hey, if I don't unclog your arteries, you're going to die. We get it. So once they did that, now it's just prescribing him medication and letting him take care of himself. And if he can't, is keeping on medication. Mo was saying for me is that you can get off the medication if you do certain things. He said, and if you try a different cardiologist, you may have better results where you won't have to be on any medication. So with a real experience, what Mo was saying is the seasoned people out here who come to work and do their job every day are dying off or retiring and moving out of those positions. And we just don't have enough quality or skilled people filling those people needs. Hence, Lowe's, Walmart's, Target's, even my brother's business with IT. He has employees that do their job, but if I said how many fantastic employees he has, I would tell you he probably would say 50% or less. Fantastic, meaning I don't have to bother them, I don't have to ask them to do their job. They show up all the time, they show late, they exceed my expectations, they hit bonus all the time, they have little to no customer complaints. I would tell you probably less than 50%. And I said this to Rachel, is you do a great job. I said, but there's some small details that you overlook that I just want you to just see through my eyes. that could be done a little bit better, just to make improvements for yourself and the business system, right? And not criticizing too bad, but just small things like, hey, did you see this trash in front of the door? You know, I see it, the customers see it. Did you notice it? No, this is some of the small details. You follow me? Like, our small details in our shop are the bathroom. The bathroom is like the smallest, down to the smallest detail of, if there's pee drops on the floor, Rachel and I are losing our mind from the previous customer, and one of us is going in there to wipe the pee drops off a nearly immaculate bathroom, because that's the small details that we like take in priority. And then I can't say, where was I? Where did I just, I was in a bathroom somewhere. Oh, so I went to one of my parts vendors in Philly yesterday to pick up exhaust parts. And I usually use the bathroom, right? Today, the bathroom was disgusting. Yesterday, the bathroom was disgusting. There was pee drips, but not only was there pee drips all over the floor, they had greasy, dirty footprints in the pee drips because their floor was light. So I only had to pee, and I almost felt obligated to clean it up. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to pee, I'm going to wipe the seat like I normally do, and I'm going to leave. But there was a bunch of employees in there who didn't do a thing about it, who was using it. And at the time that I went there was 4 employees in a close vicinity to their common bathroom. Now, it is auto parts and is all this. This was the worst that I've ever seen it, and I don't go there every day. I probably go there once a week, maybe twice a week, or every other week. But today was like, and it's not that anyone didn't have time, because when I walked in, 2 were sitting there on their phones, not answering the phones or doing anything. And then another one walked in there, so that was 3 plus whoever's out in the office, out in the shop, pulling parts. But my point is the small details, the small details that make things better. And it takes your employees to notice that small little thing to go above and beyond. That's all. Go to work. It's not that hard. Wake up on time. I'm going to go to work and do my best. I don't get it. Working at Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere, CVS, I mean, that's a prideful job. I mean, as these places start to close, where else are you going to go to work if you don't have any skill? Right? If as Lowe's and Home Depot overcome the employee problems with automation, like the UAW, automation will get rid of the United Auto Workers Union. There will be nobody. The ship workers and dock workers, they will get rid of you, right? Because they're going to be tired of you asking for money that they can't pay you, or they don't want to pay you. And it could be for many reasons. And they won't have to hear about sick time and vacation time, and and you're tired of doing your job, and they will make that investment in automation and eliminate you. That's what's going to happen. You see McDonald's put kiosks in, and a lot of places put in kiosks to overcome employee problems, and not just them showing up or not being able to fill that position, that the problems come along with employees. So, put in humanless kiosks. The only error you have now is the person scanning their goods. It eliminates so much. And how much does it cost? Insurance. So that's less that company has to pay for workers' compensation or, human resources, and on and on and on. The cost savings for a business to automate is humongous. But they wouldn't do this, right, if they didn't have a need for it. And that's my point. You're always going to have waitresses. You're always going to have gas station attendants. You're always going to have mechanics. You're always going to have service professionals. Banks are getting rid of tellers. There's banks that have nobody inside that's going on. Why? Because they can't fill the positions. It's super expensive. And how do banks become more profitable? They have to lower their operational costs. Their probably biggest operational cost, besides rent or the real estate, would be insurance and the employees. So now what do? You walk into a bank, can't talk to nobody in some places, or the 40-foot wall is now a 30-foot wall of just 4 tellers when there was 10 tellers. There's still lines at banks on a Friday and Saturday. But you know why they can't handle the traffic? Because they don't have enough tellers. And the problem that comes with that. So banking system has made the move to, you walk in, someone goes up to the screen, you blah, 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 and they go, hello, my name is Patel, how can I help you? And you say, I would like to transfer money from my money market to my savings. Can you please show me 3 forms of ID?
I'll tell you to go do it online.
And they're going to say, okay.
Use your app.
And then that's what you're going to do. And then you're going to say, well, I need to make a large withdrawal. And they're going to say, okay, we have to order this money for you. Go to the closest branch that has tellers. That's what's going to happen. So the employee part of what we do will be slowly completely phased out in a lot of places, and your retail store footprint is going to continue to shrink with more online presence. So they're not building these 8 million square foot facilities for wartime. It's not what they're building, those Amazon and facilities where these 18-wheelers back up to 600 bay doors and drop off inventory. That is so that they can satisfy the next wave of brick and mortar dissolving and more evolution and growth in the sector of online shopping. That's a fact. It's not to increase more jobs, that's for sure. It's to increase more goods available to satisfy that online shopping and delivery experience that, hey, I can push a button right now. I don't need to talk to anybody, have any excuses. I look at the time frame, it says it will be delivered today around 3 o'clock. I ordered it at 10, and it shows up before or after, and sometimes with excuse, right? But there's virtually almost no human contact in that part other than how they deliver it on our sides, which is a smaller footprint now. And good luck trying to talk to somebody. We still can't talk to somebody at Tesla. Still cannot talk to somebody at Tesla today. Their customer service is the smelliest armpit in the world, and I don't know why anyone would consume their products. Their products suck, and their customer service sucks, and their service department sucks, and their people have a chip on their shoulder in their service department.
Yes, that's facts.
That's a fact. So, we're not bashing my employees. We're not bashing anyone's employees. We're just talking about automation will replace you. That's a fact. There's not enough people in there's not enough working people to satisfy the needs of the brick and mortar stores now. That's a fact. And there should be more accountability from state and local and federal government to hold employees accountable to do their job and not do a crappy job or do the minimum, or I don't know. There's a lot to it. So a lot to it. All right, we are driving slow. We are in Pennsylvania, I think. We are.
We're in Pennsylvania.
Are we? We are at Fairville Road, Chad's Ford, baby. Chad's Ford Elementary School. Let alone that, too. Eventually you will probably see there's not going to be any teachers.
I don't believe that.
Online? You have online courses in college constantly now.
Oh, college?
Well, what's to say the same?
High school offers it, but
they're going to have.
It's not elementary schools.
You're not really going to need a teacher, right? You're going to need a babysitter in the classroom to make sure that they're behaved while their lesson's going on. I mean, think about that for the state. You want to cut our taxes anymore? That would be great. Put in babysitters to and security teams in the school systems, and why not? I mean, I learn a lot from visual and video. Tons. I don't really learn too much from doing homework or paperback or flipping through pages or anything. I do very little reading. I probably should do more reading just to exercise my mind, but I watch more through videos and tutorials than I do anything else. I open a box that has instructions in it. I throw that crap right on the ground, and I get started. To the point to where they have online videos for those consumers just to watch the video or download an app on your phone, so you don't have to flip page through their instructions. That's legit. That's not. You have people who will come and decorate your house for Christmas and Halloween. All you say is how much you want to spend. What do you want to see? What theme? Right?
Yeah.
Put it up for you, take it down for you. Right?
Well, the landscapers have to make money in the winter too, so they offer it.
Yeah. I mean, that's diversifying your groundskeeping business, you know? Hardworking people, landscapers and groundskeepers and tree keepers and beekeepers. Hardworking people they are. Hardworking American people. Sound like President Trump. I love you. You're beautiful. Oh, I almost thought I had a Trumpster shirt on.
Jesus Christ. Don't start getting political.
I didn't want to offend anyone. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Please like, subscribe, and share. We appreciate you staying and listening to what I have to say and what my thoughts are. April just gets an earful every day anyway.
I do get an earful every day.
All right, thank you.